Hi, Joe Cerrone.
And Alan Rosen.
Welcome to CAD 116 Basic AutoCAD and our weekly Zoom classroom meeting.
Hey, Joe. Can you go over at student assistant stuff we have going on for us?
Certainly. We do have the office hours and student assistance posted in D2L. If you would like to schedule a time to work on projects or class assignments, we're available. Send an email or stop in at the following times and dates. Wednesdays 9 a.m. to 12:30, Skokie P131. Thursdays 2 to 6, again P131 or P130, that's the adjacent room to it. Fridays we're online with student assistant 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 or by appointment. And then Sunday, again, we're in person 8:30 to 1, Skokie campus, P132.
Thank you very much, Joe.
You bet. And you can always email Al or myself or both of us and inquire about any questions that you might have. This week we'll be covering Module 8. Module 8 is on inquiry commands. As we look at our inquiry commands, it's Chapter 17 of AutoCAD Instructor. And then we have some drawings that we'll go over and talk about shortly. There's also a module quiz. As we looked at the learning objectives, we're going to look at being able to check the status of a drawing. In other words, when was it created? The drawing information in that drawing, and database information about different objects. We can also calculate things like areas of room sizes and mechanical parts so that we can come up with certain analysis information about those projects. We can also analyze our drawings with commands like distance, so we can take a floor plan and measure things like the size of the doors or the room shapes and things like that, so that we can see whether we can move furniture into the rooms or the sizes that are available. Time spent on a drawing is available within the database, and then some of the variables as we look at those different settings within that chapter. And then we have an architectural drawing of a floor plan that we can analyze for area, and a mechanical drawing of a gasket. And again, we can analyze that drawing and check our area. We have a video that will demonstrate how to calculate out those areas. And then we have two drawings. The Plan 1 drawing That's a bit of a glitch. We'll come back to that. We'll check that in D2L. Let's try it down here in our attachment. So here's our Plan 1. This is taken from the AutoCAD certification exam. And what that exam does is it allows students to get an industry certificate in their AutoCAD abilities. And so what the certification exams do is they give you a drawing with instructions for how to answer analysis questions like the one shown here. And so we'll look at our plan drawing, and then we'll calculate out the square feet of all the bedrooms. We'll calculate out distances, more square feet like the closets, more square feet like the laundry rooms and bathrooms. And then we'll put those answers either in the PDF, or you can put them directly into the CAD drawing. Back to the main splash page. And here's our other drawing, and I'm going to check this one right here. I believe this is the one. Let's see. This is more information on how to use the analysis commands to measure different geometry. And then the gasket drawing is actually in the Module 8 content section. So if we go to the Module 8 content section, here's our two drawing labs in our video tutorials for that. And here's the PDF with the instructions. Again, it's an AutoCAD certification type drawing where students will draw the gasket and follow the instructions as we go through and set up the drawings. There are videos that will show you how to do that, and it's important that you begin the drawing by locating the center of the drawing, which would be right here. If you were to draw an X through this gasket, the center of the drawing would be at X position 6, Y position 3 for this 6 by 4.75 inch area, 6 by 3 inch area of this gasket. And then we'll go through and calculate out the total surface area of that gasket. Back to chapter 8. If we take a look at the textbook assignment for this, we can see in chapter 17, inquiry commands from our AutoCAD instructor textbook, our learning objectives, and then the basic concepts. And the concepts are that we will find out drawing information. And this is the best thing about CAD drawings versus paper drawings. You can analyze these drawings and get very useful information. And so as we take a look at things like the status command, we're able to go through and find out information about that drawing. We can look at different tools like list. And when you see the screens that look like these are sort of database information that tell everything about the drawing. All the drawing information, the layers that are used, the length of the lines. And so it's got quite a bit more information than we oftentimes need, but that is the way digital manufacturing and the way things work. You can make very precise drawings and have very precise inquiry commands to make things as perfect as possible. Things like being able to measure out the square feet of a room. So for example, if we wanted to measure out the square feet of a room, we can go into our AutoCAD drawing and we can go to our measure area. And when you work with the measure area command, you're going to want to make sure that you have your object snap settings enabled. And so I have object snap enabled. I like to leave O-track on as well, but this needs to be on. And then as we go through and we work with the measure geometry command, we can go through and we can either outline the shape of the room, and we'll get the area in square feet, 104.0625 square feet, and we'll also get the perimeter of that area in that room. And so once you have that calculated, what you can do is you can copy and paste that into the drawing, or you can add that to the PDF. But you need to make sure that you answer those questions, and what I'll do is I'll F2 flip screen, and then I can go through and I can copy with Control C and then Control V to be able to calculate out that area. And then as we look at the way the commands work within the PDF for that drawing, and we've given you the initial drawing to be able to do the calculations on the floor plan. And so you will have to draw the gasket, but the floor plan is already drawn for you. And we can go and calculate that out based on this information right here, where we'll open up that drawing and then calculate out these different measurements. And so the total area in square feet of all the bedrooms is closest to, and it says closest to, so it doesn't have to be the exact number here. And so we can go back to our analysis, and there is a video for this, But as we go through and just work with our Zoom meeting, we'll just do a quick area command. And what we can do is we can go and, like I said, make sure your O snaps are on, and then you can calculate out the areas of each of the rooms. And so I have 104 square feet for this first one. And then if I go and calculate out the other areas, $127.5 square feet. And 74.111 square feet of the other rooms, of the other bedroom. So when they're asking the square feet of the bedrooms, we would take those values and add them together. And so we would enable our calculator. And there is a calculator in AutoCAD as well. And we can say 74.11 plus 127.5 plus 104.06. And somehow I made a slight error on that. Let me do that one more time. 104 plus 127 plus 74. There we are. Now if I would have added the decimal points, we would probably get right to 306. And so the answer for the first one, the total area in the square feet, you would be able to calculate that as shown. And then as we go through and we look at these other analysis questions, we can take a look in our D2L. And we can watch our videos. And so here's our Plan 1 video. Chapter 8. In which we go through and show you how to analyze each of the rooms. We also show how to use the distance commands as well. Alrighty. So that's the Chapter 8. I'll add a video for the gasket analysis in here to make sure that everybody has that information. We have some additional inquiry problems, and so if you are interested in some bonus points, there's a number of inquiry problems that you can improve your skills by working on these additional inquiry problems as part of the AutoCAD certification exam prep book. Back to the main splash page. Remember, we do have student assistance available for students who need extra help. A lot of people like the online, so if you can't come in, you can always just email us and request an online Zoom session. And then remember, next week there is no Zoom meeting, there is no class. We'll be on spring break from March 13th until the 20th. So enjoy your spring break. Take a little bit of time and admire the work that you have done. Everybody is doing a great job in the course. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording and open things up for questions.